My name is Dustin, and today I'm going to show you how to can garden tomatoes. You may ask yourself, what are canned garden tomatoes good for? You can use them in the wintertime for spaghetti sauce, salsa, chilies, and vegetable soup. The first step is to gather about 2 pounds of garden tomatoes. Step 2, you want to wash your tomatoes. This is very important, especially if you use certain type of pesticides or herbicides. Okay. A quick tip is you put hot water in your pot and it will come to a boil a lot faster. While you're waiting for your water to boil, it's always good to get your jars very clean. And you want to use as hot as water as you possibly can. Add a little soap. Get around all the edges and the rim. Also, take your lids and get another small pot and put your lids in the pot, and don't boil the water, but get it pretty close. This will soften up the rubber so you'll get a better seal. The third step is to boil your tomatoes. This is called blanching. You want to blanch your tomatoes for 4 to 5 minutes in boiling water, and you know when they're ready when the peel of the tomato starts to come apart. As we discussed earlier, this is the smaller pot that you will put your lid in. This will soften up the rubber and give you a better seal. In this bigger pot, we're boiling water. We're roughly about 190 degrees, so we're almost at boiling temperature. We're closer to 212 degrees now, so I'm going to start to drop in the tomatoes. Be very careful, because this water might splash. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. Five minutes is up. Now I'm going to show you what the tomatoes look like after they start to peel. These are pretty hot, so I recommend the ones that are starting to peel, which not all of them are at this point, you put them into an ice cold water bath. This prevents them from cooking any further. After you pour the tomatoes out in the room temperature, you start to peel them. The peel should come off pretty easy, and discard that. After it's been peeled, you want to cut the core out. I do this by making a few little cuts, like so, and discard. After you've peeled and cored all of your tomatoes, you want to cut them up in small pieces and put them in your blender, like so. With smaller tomatoes, you cut them up in 3s or 4s, and it's just fine. Now it's a step where you chop your tomatoes or puree them. Depends on how you like them. You could lightly chop them to where they're more chunky, or you could puree them where they'll be used for soup or spaghetti sauce, like so. I can use the same big pot that I boiled the tomatoes in for the next step. Be very careful or you'll make a big mess. Let it boil for 2 to 3 minutes. When your tomatoes will come to a rolling boil, this is the time when you need to take your jars, a clean paper towel, and make sure that there's no moisture on the rim. Now you'll take a clean ladle and carefully get your tomatoes into your jars. Just enough. And get out your lid and do the same thing with the rubber seal. You want to make sure it is completely dry. When you think it is dry enough, you put it right in the middle Put your band on. The hot tomatoes are pushing out on the lid, and as they cool, it will create negative pressure inside the jar, and that's the popping sound that you famously always hear about. And this is your canned tomatoes. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.